You may all be wondering what this week's recipe is going to be made of. So, this week's recipe is starting with the letter D, or we're using a vegetable starting with the letter D. So, as you all know, we are going in alphabetical order, and this week we're at the letter D. So, the vegetable that we'll be using is a well known vegetable in the Caribbean, and it is called dasheen. Some persons may call it taro or cocoyam. I'm Anne, and welcome to the Nomadic Kitchen. So, if you're willing to learn to cook this recipe with me, grab your apron and let's cook. So, welcome back to the Nomadic Kitchen, and today our dish is another Asian inspired dish. I love Asian food. Anyway, the first thing that we are going to do is peel our tarayam or dasheen, whatever you call it, and then we're going to put it in a pot of water to boil. Now, this can be done two ways. You can either boil it or you can steam it the Asian way. Yeah? So we are going to peel and put our dasheen to boil. 2 pounds of dasheen. And we're going to peel this and we're going to dice it and put it to cook. So we're going to let this cook until it's soft enough where it is able to crush. So we're going to check if our dasheen is soft enough. Yep. So we can take these out, put it in a large bowl, turn this off. Now we're going to crush or mash this with a fork while it's hot. A food processor would make this go faster. So now that this is all mashed, I hope it's mashed soft enough. We're going to add about 2 cups of tapioca flour, according to the recipe, to this because we're making a dough. We're going to mix this in. Remember, we're learning to cook this recipe. So we'll see what it turns out to be in the end. So in order to make the dough, we're going to add some warm water to knead it. So you add your water in small amounts. You don't want it to be too soft and sticky. So you're going to add your water as you go along. So we're going to, now that we kind of get it together like this, we are going to continue molding or kneading this until it's smooth enough. Huh? It's actually breaking. This feels so nice in my hand. Oh my God. Okay, so here we have our dough. So we're going to make like little buttons with them. Just gonna roll it in a ball. Use your big finger to make like a donut shape. Break in. I don't know what I did wrong, but anyway, like a donut shape. And after doing this, you are going to put these again in some boiling water for them to cook. It is said that when they float to the top, then they would be ready. So when you put them in the boiling water, they are going to sink. And when they float to the top, then they are cooked. Yeah. So we're going to make these little buttons and put them in our boiling water. So I have made some funny looking buttons. I'm trying. They're all in different sizes. Oh. So I realized that when I was doing them, they were actually breaking. But then I realized that the dough wasn't smooth enough. So after smoothing out the dough, it it doesn't break. So these ones tends to break, but this one is smoother. So while rolling the ball in my hand, I realized that the texture of it actually changed and felt really smooth. And then it was easier to make, these buttons without them actually breaking apart. So we're gonna put these in the pot. Don't mind my hands. We have some boiling water going on, and we are going to put these in the pot. They're going to sink to the bottom, and when they are ready, they should float to the top. So our buttons have floated to the top. I think this pot was too small. So they are ready. So we're going to take these out and put them in some cold water or ice water. So we're going to transfer them to this bowl of cold water for them to chill. Now we are going to finish our recipe. So we have here some shiitake mushrooms. I was going to use this tofu, but since I have scrambled tofu and I really like this tofu, I'm going to use this one instead. Yeah, and we're going to finish our recipe using these ingredients. So here I have some onions, some spring onions, and I'm going to dice my shiitake mushrooms. So we're going to dice it up like that. So in our pot with oil, we're going to saute our onions. We're going to saute our onions. Do not let them burn, just until they're translucent. We're going to add our mushrooms, shiitake mushrooms. Now we're going to add our scrambled tofu to our pot. I made a mess. Now we're going to add some soy sauce to the pot. We're going to add some oyster sauce. Give that a stir. If you don't like eating fresh food, it's best to taste your pots while you go along and adjust your salt to taste. So now we are going to add our buttons that we made to this. So you're going to drain off the water. You're going to add them to the pot. You're going to add your spring onions. Then after that, you're going to remove it from the heat and serve it hot. So now the moment of truth. We have finished our recipe. I can't use chopsticks. But anyway, the moment of truth. Will we try this again? I don't know how to describe it. It's very hard to describe. The taste is okay, but or button thing, they call it abacus seed. It's chewy is like when you're chewing, like a gum. Similar, that's the texture is similar to like when you're chewing gum. It's not hard, it's very chewy. But with this being cooked down in the oyster sauce and the soy sauce, it tastes good. It's just that I have to be doing a lot of chewing. So would I try it again? Would I cook it for myself again? I don't know. If I can tolerate chewing that long before I actually swallow, yeah, because it tastes good. It's just the texture of it. So, but it tastes good. As I said, it's like it's very chewy. It's very chewy. It's like it just feels like you're chewing gum, like you're chewing gum, but it tastes good. So that's our recipe for today, or recipe using dashin. See you next week for another recipe, and next week will be letter E.